Lads, I'm bloody back. What did I... Oh. Where the f... Where did everyone go? Hello and welcome. I'm going to do my best to keep the intro short because I'm very bored at the moment, so please forgive me. Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to be ranking every single parkour theme that Dying Light 2 has to offer. I'm also going to include a couple of mission-specific themes because I feel like they do fit perfectly well with the parkour. And I'm also going to be including the chase themes because I know for a fact that there's going to be that one specific person coming at me saying, why did I not include them? So here it is. The way I'm going to be ranking this is pretty easy. I'm going to give up my overall opinion on whether or not I like it, if it's good on the ears, if the beats are good, you know, yada yada, the basic shit. Like, if it's good. I'm not going to be like one of those music artists that are able to like listen a specific music for like 1 second and is able to tell how the beat is going to go off or how it's going to continue, and as well as explain the personality of the song. So yeah, don't expect me to be very philosophical about this one. So without wasting any more time, let's just get straight into it because I feel like I'm wasting time. Let's go. The Joy of Parkour is an amazing track that uses the makeshift instrument that the music artists have made. For some of you that are unaware, Dying Light 2's music composers uses a custom-made instrument that was created with nothing but junks and as well as metal scraps, and it honestly sounds amazing and fits the theme of the game perfectly. It also fits the pacing of the game entirely. And the beginning and as well as the build-up for Joy of Parkour is very good and is very charming to the ears and makes us continue and embrace the amazing track for what they're bringing. And there's really not much else to say besides it's a definite 10 out of 10 theme or an S tier. It's an amazing theme that no one can really disagree upon. No Fear is probably by far one of the worst parkour themes in my opinion. It's not bad, but it doesn't really fit the pace of the game, because if it was a mission-specific theme where it only plays when you're on a specific mission, then yeah, it can be excused in a specific way, but considering the fact that this is an actual official parkour theme makes it somewhat worse. The beat is also not really particularly great, nor it really fits with the pacing. It's just kind of slow. Like, it doesn't really feel fitting, honestly. Like, imagine in a scenario where you're in a depressing environment, but all of a sudden you're getting a joyful, happy theme. Like, it doesn't really fit, and that's how it is. Like, the theme itself is mediocre at best, and it's not really particularly bad, but it's just kind of mediocre. It doesn't really feel motivating for you to continue, and it just simply sounds average and not really particularly inspiring. It's a C tier, or a 5 out of 10 in my opinion. It's not really particularly that great, nor it's too good. It's average. Do I really need to say anything about empowering yourself? No, honestly, there's really not much else to say. It's basically just another amazing track that fits perfectly with the game and as well as the pace. It sounds orchestral and as well as cinematic in a way, and it feels very inspiring to listen to. When it fully builds up, it feels like you're on a great journey to success, and it just sounds so joyful. It's such a peaceful and yet joyful track that keeps us going. Like, the instruments are played extremely well in this one. Like, it just sounds so good to the ears, and holy shit, I cannot stress how good this is, and it's pretty much like everyone's like #1 favorite theme, but this is not my #1 favorite theme. I'd say it's more like third, but trust me when I say this, it's an amazing theme. It's another S tier theme or a 10 out of 10. There's really not much else to say. Wandering the Wastelands just pretty much sounds like empowering yourself, but more hopeful. The difference between them is that Wandering the Wastelands sounds way more hopeful, like despite the world literally just falling apart entirely, there is some bit of hope left. Meanwhile, empowering yourself sounds more adventurous and joyful, if that makes any sense. Meanwhile, Wandering the Wasteland sounds more hopeful. And that's how this theme feels. I wouldn't really necessarily say that Wandering the Wasteland is also joyful, but it has a sense of calming sound to it. Calm. I can't really say it. Holy shit. And it generally fits the game perfectly and encourages us to keep pushing. The only real complaint I can say is that it's a slightly more slower pace than most of the themes, but that could just be me. It's a definite A tier or 9 out of 10 theme. It's a genuinely amazing theme to listen to. Like, it's so calming to the ears when you listen to it. It just sounds very peaceful and very uplifting. And that's what I think this theme is trying to go for. And it's such a good thing. I don't know who decided to name this, but Start is a very solid theme. Why does it have the name Start? I have no idea, but who cares. Start, there's really nothing special about it, as it's pretty good. There's really not much else to say. If there was a check that is just pretty much solid and it's not bad in any particular way, it would be this one. Start is this theme that just pretty much sounds like you're having a busy day, and there's really not much else to say about it. It's not like a bad theme. Like, here's the thing, I'm not saying it's a very bad theme, but it's just sort of above average, to say at least. It's a B tier or a 7 out of 10 theme. It's one of those themes where I don't really mind listening to it. But thankfully it's not like No Fear, where it's just like very boring and bland. At least with this one it's actually pretty good. It's like, it's kind of hard to really describe this because it's sort of there, to say at least. Like, it's one of those things where, oh, I don't really mind listening to this. But yeah, I can't really say much other than it's okay. Now, we're getting into one of my favorite parkour themes. Breath of the City, and in my personal opinion, is one of the best parkour themes that Dying Light 2 has to offer. Because Breath of the City has so much personality, as it feels joyful, charming, and like hopeful and uplifting at the same time. It feels like it's one of those themes that would legit play when you're having a good day or when you're enjoying life in general. That's how this theme really feels. The pace and the beat and the instruments and everything about this theme is just perfect, and I cannot stress how much I enjoy listening to this, especially when it fully builds up. It's so playful and so joyful, but in my opinion, Breath of the City is probably by far one of the best themes that Dying Light 2 has, and it's just so good and it's amazing to listen to. It's another S tier theme, or a 10 out of 10. Now, let's get into a couple of few mission-specific themes. These mostly play when you're approaching to the mission, or when you're doing something important during the mission. High Pursuit is a very solid theme. It sounds stressful and as well as is more intense, because it's called a High Pursuit. It's perfect for what it is. And it's not exactly a perfect theme, because it doesn't really sound that overwhelmingly stressful. It just pretty much simply fits what it is, and there's really not much else to say about it other than it's not really mind-blowing to listen to. It's kind of good. It's not bad, but it's above average, to say at least. It's a 7 out of 10 or a B tier. There Is Hope is probably by far one of the best mission-specific themes in the game. At first it has this hopeful and peaceful theme, and gradually goes into this charming and happy vibe that tells us that there is hope for humanity. The instruments combined together with this are executed extremely perfectly. There's really not much else to say about this, and it's an amazing theme to listen to when you want to relax or want to feel happy. And holy shit, I feel like this is one of the top 5 best themes that Downlight 2 has to offer, because listening to this, it just makes me happy. Like, honestly, it just feels very relaxing to listen to, and I genuinely love this so much. It's another S tier or a 10 out of 10 theme. It's one of the best ones. Last Parkour is another really good track. It starts with a stressful beat that sounds good, and then transitions into a fast-paced beat that encourages to go faster. It's an amazing theme, and it also sounds very cinematic, like something big is going to happen. And this theme does not disappoint when it comes to bringing that specific vibe. The only big thing I can really complain about the theme is the beginning is a little bit weak and not really that particularly good, to say the least. Like, it's not terrible, but it's not like something that it's like mind-blowing, to say the least. It's just kind of mediocre. But I sort of wish it sounded more intense and more stressful, but again, that could just be me. But other than that, everything about Last Parkour, everything about Last Parkour is a definite A tier theme, or 9 out of 10. Like, it's a really good track. Rush is probably by far one of my favorite themes when it comes to mission specific, because it's stressful and intense, because as the timer is ticking down, this theme plays in the background and it adds literally way more stress and intensity to the player, and it just sounds amazing. The instruments that are in this are played amazingly and executed perfectly, and it sounds cinematic and as well as orchestral in a sense. I don't know if that makes any sense, but who really cares? There's not much else to really say though, other than it's a phenomenal theme. But the only complaint I can really say is it's a mission-specific theme. You don't get to hear this other than specific missions. If this played during a chase, or when you're getting chased in general by like volatiles or human enemies and whatnot, whatever, I just hit my mic, it would fit perfectly. But sadly it's only on a few specific missions, but again, I'm not saying like this theme is bad, it's far from that. It's literally an amazing theme. It's another S tier, or a 10 out of 10. Now that I actually mention it, a lot of these are S tiers. Who cares, honestly? Now, let's get into the spicy part. The chase themes. Level 1 doesn't really sound anything special, nor too intense, and it kind of makes sense because you're only getting chased by a few virals or like one vault and that's it. I can't say too bad about it because it's only a level 1 chase theme, so it kind of makes sense for it to be the weakest one, but it's a very low B tier or a 6 out of 10. When it comes to level 2, that's where shit starts to really change, because the virals and voltos are coming at you in bigger numbers, but it's not really particularly too intense, and it's not really that particularly stressful to deal around with. It's manageable, but, you know, it's not that too much of a big deal, and it's perfect for what it is. It's basically level 1, but slightly more intense, but not to the point where it gets repetitive and annoying. So, excuse me, it gets a high B tier or a 7 out of 10. Level 3 just pretty much sounds like the infected had enough of your bullshit and is trying so hard to desperately get your ass because it's more intense and more stressful. Of course, no shit, Sherlock, but it's not intense, and again, it fits for the level. The Voltas and Virals are way more aggressive and come at you in bigger numbers, but not to an overwhelming extent that it becomes impossible to deal around with. It's manageable, but you're able to maneuver around them. And this theme sort of does that perfectly well. Like, the beat and everything about it just sounds great, but it's not really that particularly stressful. It's a very low A tier, or a 7.5 out of 10. It's a very nice theme. When it comes to level 4, that's where shit hits the fan, because it sounds stressful and intense, because the Voltos come at you in such big numbers, and they're trying so desperately to close in on your ass, because you have to be on your feet and aware at all times. Sure, you can escape easily, but we're not talking about gameplay, so shut up. Anyway, the theme literally just puts extra pressure on stress on the player, while in the meantime it sounds amazing to listen to because you can use that theme as a way to run away or fight. It's pretty much like Doom. The theme is so good, you can use that opportunity to either run or be a man and just jump in and fight them. It's another A tier, or an 8.5 out of 10. It's a definite perfect theme. Level 5, oh boy. It's pretty much level 4, but way more intense and way more faster paced, and is much more distorted. At least for me, it just kind of sounds distorted in a sense. Volta Tyrants are something you should not be fucking around with because of their sheer and massive strength, and as well as their unmatchable endurance, because they are no joke. When you're being chased by these things, you gotta be very prepared for it, because otherwise they would wipe the floor with you and eat whatever shit organs you have. I don't know. I tried to make a very terrible joke, but it didn't really pan out. It just pretty much makes everything more stressful and way more intense. Like, the beat and as well as the fast pace of the theme is just genuinely really good. It sounds really stressful, like you're literally on the hornet's nest and you're trying your hardest to run away. It's pretty much a level 4 theme, but way better in every single category. It's an A+ tier theme, or 9 out of 10. It's a genuinely amazing theme that I love listening to. But yeah, that is all I have to offer. Keep in mind that music is subjective. Some people may like empowering yourself, some may not like it, some may like no fear, some may not like. So, this is just simply my own interpretation. And if I apologize, I use the same words all the time because I'm no musician and I can't really write a novel-long script to explain how a specific music theme is played out and how it works and how its personality is. Like, if I was a musician, I would probably do that and write a fucking novel-esque script on how a music theme plays out, but I'm not. I'm just another dude on the internet, so yeah. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, if you excuse me, I'm going to go and probably eat some pizza. I'm actually kind of hungry for it, even though it's bulk season, yeah, that's the excuse I can make. It's bulk season, so yeah. Have a very good day. I'll see you all next time. Probably very soon, because I'm going to upload a video on Payday 3 on the new update that's going to be coming out very soon. So goodbye. I'll see you next time. Keep yourself safe.